Tesla is launching a long-range version of its sedan. Now, this particular car can travel 600 kilometres or 370 miles, and it does so on a single charge. CNN's Peter Valdes-Dapena was one of the first journalists to get behind the wheel. He drove the car 900 miles from New York to Atlanta. It's a straight run down there, charging it only 3 times. Now, of course, Peter and the Tesla joins us now. Were you on your own during this trip, or did you have company for this trip?
I had a bit of company. I had a still photographer, David Williams, with me to sort of chronicle the trip as we were going along, but I did do all the driving, and to answer your earlier question, I controlled the music the entire time.
All right, so two things. First of all, did you ever get a collywobble and thinking, hang on, we could run out of power here? I'm a bit worried. Even though I know there's charging stations, I'm concerned.
Actually, it's really interesting because the last time I tried a long-distance drive like this, back in 2013, I did get very worried. Getting from Washington, D.C. to Connecticut, I was quite concerned. I was on the phone with Tesla engineers trying to figure out what to do. Finally made it to a charger with 40 miles of range left. This time, an onboard computer was telling me, the onboard navigation was telling me where to go to get to the charger, when I was going to get there. I did make it with only 17 miles remaining, but psychologically I was much less concerned. I wasn't worried because I could watch that process happening in the car as I was going. It was obviously the numbers weren't changing very much. It was clear that I was going to make it, which I think is maybe a more important thing than just the range itself, is the psychological comfort now that these computer systems give you of knowing how far you can stretch it.
But what if you get a roadblock? What if a roadblock suddenly is in your way and there's an accident, God forbid, and suddenly you can't get past and you're stuck for the foreseeable? Now what happens? Of course, that could happen with a car, with a petrol engine, a combustion engine, but there's usually a garage closer by, and you can always borrow some petrol from somebody in a tank, in a gas tank.
Yep, you can always have AAA come out and give you a gallon of gasoline if you really get stuck. Yes, that could still be a problem. You do have less flexibility. There are a lot of Tesla charging stations, but they're probably going to be less frequent than a gas station. So yes, if something crazy or unpredictable happens, that's an issue. Another issue is on a road trip, if you want to be a little more flexible and say, hey, you know, I want to take a little side trip for a while, you can do that in a gasoline car. With an electric car, even one like this, you still might not have that kind of flexibility.
What was it? Heavy metal, Madonna, disco hits of the 1980s? What were you playing?
Oh, no, I was playing like electronic dance music.
I would pay good money to see Peter Valdes-Dapena listening to electric dance music, driving that. Good to see you, Peter. Thank you very much indeed.